am SandraV, and today I want to talk about the whole Kyte baby thing. I know you've probably heard about it, you've seen the videos, and I just want to give my perspective as a working mom. I feel like a lot of the opinions that we're seeing are coming from other creators who don't work full-time in a corporate world and maybe don't have the most knowledge about what our maternity leave is like in this country. So we're going to talk about it. To prepare for this video, I looked things up because I honestly didn't know. In my state, what I was offered was different based on my pregnancies. Both of them were at the same company. However, with my daughter, I started there and found out I was pregnant with her like the week I started. So in the United States, we have something called FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, and it protects your job for 12 weeks if you have a medical emergency, and having a human falls under that category. However, you have to be with your employer for 12 months for that to go into effect, which I think is insane because you have the potential to have any kind of a medical emergency within a year of starting a company. Like, it's just, to me, that's wild. But anyways, that's the rule. With my daughter, since I just started that job, I didn't qualify, but I spoke to my supervisor and he said, it's fine, we will protect your job while you're gone for the 12 weeks that FMLA would offer. So it's unpaid, right? It basically just says when you come back, you will have a job. We will not give it to anybody else during that time. And it does not do anything else but protect your job. So I was very lucky to be offered that. And then you collect from short-term disability. I think it's about 60% of your pay. And for me, I believe I only had it for 6 weeks. So I had to use whatever paid time off I had saved up and then my short-term disability. For my second pregnancy with my twins, I did qualify for FMLA because I had been there over a year. And then again, PTO and short-term disability is the only monetary benefit, I guess you would say, that you receive. I looked it up because I guess now, and I don't think this was the case then, but recently, fairly recently, they have started to have more mandatory maternity leave versus just like getting the same treatment that you would get for any medical emergency. There are two different categories in certain states now. So in 13 states and the District of Columbia, you have enacted mandatory paid family leave systems. An additional 8 states have voluntary systems that provide paid family leave through private insurance. Of the 22 total state leave laws, 18 have been implemented and the remaining are not yet in effect. And again, most of these are insurance plans. So you're paying to receive an insurance benefit of X amount of your pay. So it's not like a social system. I guess some states do have that where the state government is required to pay you, but most of them are insurance plans that you pay out of your paycheck every time you get paid to receive those benefits. So Melissa Hughes is a woman who had the issue with maternity leave at Kyte Baby. I guess she worked on their marketing team. And from what I understand, from what I've heard from different videos and stuff, she had lost some pregnancies and her husband had decided to adopt. They informed the company, or she informed the company, that she was in the process of adopting. And, you know, when it comes to that stuff, a lot of it is very like last minute. A baby is here and needs a home. And so they had fair warning that they're going through that process. Now, one of the reasons people are making a big deal about this is because Kyte Baby is obviously, it's a woman-owned company and they make baby clothes. So like you would think of all people, they would prioritize babies and families, but apparently that is not what happened. Another issue is, I guess there was an employee who was pregnant and was getting a lot of attention and a lot of like, she got to do a shopping spree for her baby and all these things that Marissa felt like she wasn't given as an adoptive parent versus a parent who, a mom who, you know, conceived a child and was pregnant. So she got word that there was a baby born prematurely at 22 weeks. That is, from what I believe, like the beginning of viability for a baby. So most babies born at or before that don't make it. So her baby was going to be in the NICU for a very long time and need extensive care. So what their maternity leave package was 2 weeks paid with a contract that you would stay with the company for 6 months after. Now, I don't think that means they expect moms to come back after 2 weeks. I think what it means is that's what's paid, right? Because like, I don't think legally you can require a mom to come back until her doctor has approved her. But I guess that she wasn't there 12 months. I think she was there like 8 months. She didn't qualify for FMLA. So technically they didn't have to protect her job. And I'm guessing all of this, a lot of this is based on assumption because we only know so much. Now, I've heard people scrutinize the whole you have to sign a contract to stay for 6 months after you come back for those 2 paid weeks. But the reason being is places that have paid maternity leave often have these stipulations, because what people can do is they can get the paid maternity leave knowing that they're not going to return, right? Just because they want like that extra cushion of being paid for maternity leave, but they know they're not returning. So they collect their maternity leave and then they tell the company, I've decided to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm not coming back. I think it's very much up to opinion on whether you think that is right of the mom to even do. You know, were they owed that because they worked for the company so they get that maternity leave and they don't get to come back? Or like ethically, should you just say, I'm not coming back after the baby and not collect that maternity leave? What happened was Marissa requested to work remotely because, again, her baby was going to be in the NICU for a very long time. So instead of taking those 2 paid weeks and then returning, she said, hey, I'll take the 2 paid weeks. I'll work remotely until I can return. Ying, the owner of the company, said, absolutely not. This is your option. You take the 2 paid weeks and come back, or you don't come back at all. And Kyte baby said that she opted to leave. But of course she did, because she can't be in the NICU with her baby and work full-time in the office. Now, here's the thing about remote work is it really is obviously up to the company's discretion if they want to allow it, right? And I understand she had a special circumstance, but at the same time, like, I think companies also have to protect themselves against being exploited, you know, for having a good heart. So like, while you made the exception for her to work remotely, like, why can't we all work remotely? And maybe that company doesn't want that. I do think they should have accommodated her in some way and not just say you either spend 2 weeks in the NICU with your baby and then come to work full time or you're gone. Like, that to me is wrong. But I understand like why maybe working remotely wouldn't work for that job. Maybe if it will work for the job, it's just not what the company wants. Not all companies want remote workers. It's just true. So then the owner, Ying, came back and said that that decision was selfish, and she felt bad for making that decision. Her first video was obviously very scripted, and people are upset about that. But one, when you are speaking online publicly about something you messed up on, like, it's probably nerve-wracking. 2, from a legal standpoint, she probably wanted to make it as accurate as possible. So I understand having a script, you know, like, she wanted to make sure she included everything, and that could be hard to do when you're nervous and speaking to a large amount of people. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a script. I know a lot of people don't like that, but that's the easiest way to not forget all your information. Ying also said that they need to set an example for companies like theirs. That, I mean, their whole company wouldn't exist without moms and buying this very expensive bamboo clothing for their children, right? So like a baby focused company, I could see where people's expectations would be like, yes, maternity leave in this country sucks, but like, you should view these things set differently, you know? So she made a second video saying, I think actually in the first one she said, you know, they're going to review their maternity leave package and expand it and make it better, which I think is great. Then in her second video, she said, yes, my video was scripted. I'm sorry, that was insensitive. Now I'm just going to speak from the heart, basically. And she offered to bring Marissa back in her old position full time, give her the maternity leave she wants to take care of her baby. Marissa obviously turned it down. She said, you know, I think it's great that you are looking at your maternity leave package for like future moms that don't have to deal with this, but like, I'm not going back, which awkward. I can't see anybody feeling comfortable going back after this whole internet thing blew up with the company. So I get that. Now, a lot of people are basically saying too little, too late. you already fucked up. Like, we do not forgive you. We will not buy your $40 bamboo pajamas, which, like, for me, I'm like, who buys that anyways, guys? $40 for pajamas that your baby's gonna outgrow in a day and poop on? Like, that's crazy to me. But a lot of people do, because this business was booming, and now a lot of people don't want to buy from them, and they're like, it's too little too late. I historically have had a problem with that mentality, because, like, people should be allowed to correct their wrongs. Is she just doing it for PR reasons? We don't know. Like, she might really have done some inner work and thought, like, man, like, I'm a mother. My company has to do with babies. Like, why does my maternity leave package suck, you know? Or maybe she just did it to save face. I don't know. But if we don't allow people to apologize and change how they are to make their wrongs right, like, don't we want that? Like, don't we want people to be better and progress? That's always confused me when people are like, nope, too late. You already fucked up. Like, if somebody's behavior changes and they don't repeat the bad behavior, then I feel like that's a win. But that's not honestly how the general public seems to think. So I don't know what will come of this company. She may have really just done herself in when it comes to, you know, how she acted and it becoming public. And honestly, like, this should be shining light more so on the problem of maternity leave in general in our country. I know a lot of people don't, a lot of Americans don't think that maternity leave should be a thing. And if women get maternity leave to go, you know, bring a new human and continue populating the earth, then other people should get added vacation days, which is just crazy to me. But anyways, tell me what you think. Have you heard of this? What are your opinions? What do you think about my thoughts on it? What's your experience with maternity leave? I would love to hear it. And I hope that you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, come back, because together is a beautiful place to be. And next time we're going to be talking about ADHD. Bye.